I couldn't think of a better one to represent the AdMech in this story. So it is an absolute read. The next one, the Astra Militarum. This was a no-brainer for me. This was the book that pulled me in and was the entire reason I became a Warhammer 40K fan. I do have some friends that play and are very into the lore, but the staple hook for me that really brought me into the Warhammer 40K universe is The First and Only by Dan Abnett. That is the first story in the Gaunt's Ghost series. If you're looking for it in print, the print book actually has 3 books in it. It's called The Founding. It is the length of a Brandon Sanderson novel. So if you're looking for the ebook or audiobook version, you'll find it under First and Only. And I do recommend the audiobook version as well. The narrator is fantastic. But as I've said several times, Dan Abnett is my favorite Warhammer 40K author and has had a lot of influence on me as a writer. And this series is why. It's, in my opinion, one of the best book series as a whole across all of Warhammer 40K. So starting with Gaunt's Ghosts is a no-brainer. I know there are several other Astra Militarum or Imperial Guard stories that are laced throughout that have great reviews as well, but personally, I'm biased. Start with First and Only. Next is the Grey Knights. It's another faction I don't know a lot about. I know they do come up more in the Heresy as I move through it. And I do want to learn about them eventually. They are interesting. But it's another faction I don't encounter very much on the tabletop, so I just haven't been drawn to them. But the story that got rave reviews for the Grey Knights is The Emperor's Gift by Aaron Dembski-Bowden. I feel like I've said his name a lot. Between him and Dan Abnett, they're probably about half the list. But it's an absolute recommendation. There have been so many reviews on this that were all fantastic, and they are, in my experience, they're usually not wrong. Next is another one that I have read. This trilogy is a fantastic introduction to the Inquisition and the Imperial Agents. And that is the Eisenhorn series that starts off with the Book of Xenos. It is a great introduction to the deeper espionage and religious side of the Imperium. It's a part that you don't get to see a lot, especially when you're reading Space Marine books, but they were really good. There are some points that do struggle a little bit, but it's another Dan Abnett book, so easily moves up to one of the tops in my personal opinion in the Black Library. Dan, like I said, major influence, and I am a major fan of his. So make sure you check that out. We are cruising through these to try and not have an hour-long video. I don't know if we're going to make it. We've still got 2 more sections to go, but we are going to try. Now, we are on to Imperial Knights. Imperial Knights are a really, really cool faction for me, especially with their introduction that I really got to connect with in the Horus Heresy in the early settings. So this is one that I'm going to be doing a lot more reading on to learn what they're like in 40K. And pretty much the universal suggestion for Imperial Knight books is Kingblade by Andy Clark. So check that out. And last on this list is actually a book we've already talked about. But just like for the Chaos Titans, for Imperial Titans, the book Titanicus by Dan Abnett is the hands-down favorite that I could see. This one is going to quickly be on my list. I'll probably squeeze it in between Heresy books here coming up in the next couple of months.